in the great glory days of darts. So he went into a pub in 1975. Picked up some darts, a man was taken short, low through 100, and the rest is history. A winner of world title, the world championship in 3 separate decades. And they were talking about the one they had in 1987, when Lowe beat Bristow for the world title, 6-4. And Eric, surely he can't outrun and start with a max. Well, I do not credit what I'm seeing.
140.
Well, Bristow was never one to be shy of playing to the gallery. And we are going to have some Stardust entertainment here.
And what have the previous people been saying about Bristow? He's the master of psychology. Whether he's winding you up, pulling your leg, or winking at the audience, or smacking a 140 to start. Who knows what he would have won had he not got the dart titles in the 1980s. 5 titles, world titles, Bristow. 5 world masters. He would have had 10 world titles had the dart titles not struck.
The Circus Tavern, many regard as the spiritual home of big-time darts, has never had a more pulsating evening than this.
41.
That's right, Taylor. Andy Fordham coming up later for £100,000 kitty. This nostalgic match. Lowe still in the top 32. Eric doesn't make the cut so often,
26.
but who can forget when he pushed Taylor in 97 here, Dave Lanning, in a fantastic semi-final.
Yes, that we rather thought might have been his last hurrah. Eric, bless him, still believes there's a lot of good darts in him.
41.
And John Lowe, well, he's still in the top 32, only just.
Here's Lowe going to make a big hole now. Needs 2 big trebles now. His adjustment is cockeyed. To be
41.
very kind, Eric. Trying to set up a nice little 2-darter here.
Well, Eric went roaring into this leg with a 140, and he still knows where the trebles are.
Very unlucky not in the treble turn there. Still Eric is looking at a 17-darter as Lowe comes in on his trail.
62.
Slack last dart there, Dave.
47.
For the first blood, 47. And now double 16.
Oh, it's a blocker. Gets it! Gets it even though it's a blocker! Bristow reads back the end! What a start!
To throw first. Game on!
And it's Bristow with the darts here, and that would be exactly the start he would have been dreaming about. No real danger right from the first throw. Bristow then rolling back the years. We remember so well that he started. Sid, you and I were on Indoor
100.
League at the time. He was an 18-year-old from London, and he said then, I'm going to be the governor of this business, and he was. And it was a white-knuckle ride, his career, but there was never a dull moment.
And echo in this place in history, dart history tonight, £100,000 coming up later. Taylor Fordham. In the old days, they used to play massive money matches to John Lowe and Brian Langworth of Sheffield. Used to be Langworth and Lowe them days. And then Langworth went to London and played Eric Bristow when Bristow was 20 for £500. Langworth went 7-1 up and Bristow beat him 8-7.
John Lowe, he was so impressed with his first television appearance, he didn't take his jacket off.
60.
I remember these two, Sid, playing for an England side in a World Cup in New Zealand, and they weren't talking to each other. They were playing pairs together. They practiced apart, only talked to each other when they were playing, and then it was an arctic silence between them for the whole trip.
100.
Well, you've got to ask how many cockbirds can walk around a farmyard. They often rubbed each other's shoulders up, these two. 3 times world champion Lowe. Remember him beating the great Leighton Rees in '79. Remember Bristow taking Bobby George to the cleaners in 1980. And he's showing that chutzpah, the Bristow cheek, is still allied, even though some of the accuracy is not there.
85.
Well, Eric is averaging over 90 and his checkout percentage is 50%, and well, he'd be happy with that at any time during his career.
And of course the one thing that Eric will thank John for,
Eric required 95.
time was £43,000, which he won in Japan just before the Dartitis. 13. 216's coming in for Bristow to soldier up. He is motoring.
Eric Bristow.
It is not now 1983, folks.
Third leg, John
But Bristow's reeling back the years. 3, folks.
Third leg, John
But Bristow's reeling back the years.
Game on.
Well, how will John Lowe react to this opening? He hasn't really had a sniff so far.
100.
Lovely last dart. He's going to need something here. Eric Bristow. Dave Lannon's immortal words. Bristow was the burglar. Taylor is the mugger. We'll see later. But he is throwing in his own words. Lovely! Right
100.
here. Lovely last dart.
Here's Lowe then with that classically fluid throwing action. We've seen that for so many years.
43.
Not really finding the mark this evening.
Used to have some great matches against the late Alan Evans. Massive matches in the 80s. And the great John Thomas Wilson jockey, who's probably watching this in Scotland.
43.
And they were the two for mine when he could cheek him out, who could actually not let Bristow put them off, Dave.
Yes, I remember another World Cup final with Bristow and Wilson in Edinburgh, Sid, when they were literally kicking each other's shins.
100.
Signs that Lowe is finding his rhythm and range.
Lovely first one by Bristow, just not able to knuckle it under into this lovely last dart by Bristow.
125.
Comes for a dipper into the 16.
100.
Nice last dart by Lowe.
Yes, remember when Eric Bristow won that championship in Tokyo, Sid, it was something like about 4 million yen, or 40 million yen, I think it was, and he took it back to his hotel room,
81.
poured it on the floor, and rolled
John,
in
you
it.
require 158.
John Lowe set up the tournament. 60 coming in now. Treble 18 is very handy now for Lowe. Trails 2-zip to the great Bristow.
98. Eric, you require 152.
Big finish this for Bristow. He's 2 up, remember.
This would be fantastic, this shot. Looking at the 3-darter there, and he's still averaging over 90, Bristow.
82. John, you require 60.
To drag back a leg here, Lowe. Double top, has to move across the oche. Getting his geometry correct, too high. Needs the double.
Just pulled it, hit the barrel of the dart. And he set up a massive 3-zip lead in a race only to 6. Bristow can do it with 2 darts. For once, fat 20. 2 16s, he hasn't been missing these. On the way!
38.
Well, John Lowe really does need this double top now.
Topsy once.
Game,
Stops the Bristow parade! His fans and the whole region show their appreciation of that shot.
Game on.
2-1 then. Bristow had a shot at a double. For 3 love.
100.
A little bit too much finger movement. Sliding down the barrel on the last one by Eric. John Lowe once nearly got a TV advert from an eye lotion because he moves nothing at all, not even blinks.
43.
Yes, and I remember, Sid, that he couldn't do the commercial because when he used the eye drops, they made them blink.
That's life. Pulling a button there, Eric. Now 47. See, it doesn't like the cut as often as Lowe these days, nowhere.
140.
But as John Part and 1 or 2 others hindered, give him an audience, and you'll get an exhibition from Eric.
Oh, Eric Bristow will be loving this. One of the great
60.
regrets of his career, I think, is that he had his peak before the Sky Razzmatazz and show business came into darts, and he would have milked this, and indeed is milking this tonight. He's loving it, so are we.
60.
Unfortunate with the last dart. This Lobo stares at Eric's chase again down to the double. Eric almost certain to be at the double first. In the heyday, the
62.
second two would have been in the 60 following the marker.
Well clear here though, Bristow 201 for a 3-1 lead. First to 6, of course.
Beautiful last dart. Bristow got the weight of the thrower. Watch for that later in our Mardle and Charlton match, and then against Fordham and Taylor. Taylor against Fordham rather. The weight of the throw is favouring Eric. John is throwing the dart about 6 inches too heavy. Good adjustment there.
100. Eric, you require 102.
102 then for Bristow.
Ball double
For the
16.
ball. Double 16. This would be a fantastic
86.
finish, and he's just half an inch inside the ring.
Would have been a 15 darter. And Lobo way back in the forests of his native Derbyshire in this leg. Brissy should do this
60.
like spoon and minestrone.
Eric, you require 16.
40% checkout success rate for Bristow. He's 3 darts at double 8.
Double 4.
No
bother.
Fourth leg.
Well, it's just like in 97 when he showed Taylor the whites of his eyes and forced Taylor in the semi-final. Yeah, Eric showed how much he loves the Circus Tavern.
John Lowe has his pride, and he will not wish to be given a tasing by his old rival. He's still in there plugging and chugging.
60.
Good old northern word. Old Norse, towsin, means towsin or towslin. Means bashing up heavy if you live in Essex. Bristow, the Predator.
100.
He's given a dartboard by his dad George when he was 11. Was in the Bloxham Cup in the London Super League by the time he was 16. World champion in his early 20s 5 times. Bristow,
60.
the burglar. Just the pinch games against Lowe. Winking at the audience.
Well, you've got to remember, Sid, he also lost his last 4 World Championship finals. He really could have won as many titles as Taylor with darts like this.
140.
He played 2 of those world title matches with the dartitis that he had for many years.
And for any newcomers to our sport, I don't imagine there are many of you out there, but dartitis is a particular affliction for dart players, which makes it almost impossible for them to release the dart. Eric was the biggest name to be thus so afflicted.
Nothing wrong with him now, though. It affected him for the 18 months before he won the big Tokyo 43,000, but it came back unexpectedly for several years after. No sign of dartitis here, Dave. Only one guy got yip urea here, and that's Lobo.
100.
Eric wants it!
Eric, you require 161.
Well, if he could hit this, it would bring the place down. Wrong treble.
John, you require 141.
Well, this was the shot which, the checkout, which won him £112,000 in 1984, but he's gone a completely different way this time. In 1984,
57.
when I was doing that commentary, went for treble
Eric, you require
17, then treble
106.
18, then double 18.
For 4-1, and making it a Bristow parade here in Essex. 2 16s for another Perla on the wire.
74.
Loving it. Here's the
John,
Briss.
you require 84.
John Lowe now looking at 84, treble 20 would leave him double 12. 14s or 16s. Now the ball.
Just missed.
59.
Hit the semi button as Bristow
Eric, you
comes
require
to take
32.
that up to 4-1, leaving him 2 to win. Grimaces with effort, 2 16s. Bingle off the bed! Move over 3 bears! Bristow reels back the years here in Essex.
Sixth leg, Eric 2.
Well, it really is a joy to see Eric Bristow in this kind of a brilliant mood. It's a vintage performance. 88 his average, 44% his checkout success rate, 4-1 up against his old rival. And
95.
our colleague Helen Chamberlain did say to Eric, is this the start of the comeback? If he can play like this, he's going to be back up with the boys.
That's right. Won the indoor league mid-70s.
60.
Wrote the legend of darts, did Bristow. 5 times world champion. Hammered Bobby George, hammered John Lowe in 81. Then he went really to town between 84 and 86. Beat Whitcomb, Lowe, and Whitcomb again.
140.
Bristow averaging just over 90.
60.
You know, and this average would have won a world championship, Sid, back in. He's right back, pretty close to his most impressive form.
60.
Well, we could dibble in something in Geordie Water says possibly. Bristow has reeled back the airs. Nothing wrong with the patter. Nothing wrong with the aggro and the tension up there for Bristow. Taylor could be maybe worried about him after being very worried about Fordham later.
Well, he's got 12 years on John Lowe. Remember, Lowe's still in the top 32. Eric's 12 years younger.
123.
And he'll be fancying his chance.
Eric still averaging a 90.5 to Lobo's 68.
85.
83 then for Bristow for 5-1, 1 leg away from victory.
For a 40 in Donna. Unlucky. 2 hits coming in for Briss. On
67.
Well, he will be back because Lowe's way back on 215. Eric had 2 darts at a double for 5-1.
Well, he keeps saying to the likes of Taylor and the likes of Main Dave Lannon, I'm playing well, Sid. You want to see me playing in exhibitions?
16.
You're seeing he can do it with millions of eyes upon him. 2 hits. Double 4. Nice mark there for the next one into the green.
8 score.
The first time he's missed doubles with more than 2 darts, and Lowe on 170 to revive his fortunes. It's the highest checkout with 3 darts. It's not on now.
Well,
45.
2 4s coming in
require 8
to put Eric on the hill. 1 away from victory. Looking at 2 4s.
Middle of the bed!
Lobo, very much a wolf in Winder as he approaches 60.
7th leg, John to throw first.
And Lowe throwing to save this match, and we wouldn't have thought that. 5-1 down.
5-2 to win the match. John Lowe, thought myself, stuck the Geordie lip out and thought Lobo, because he gets further than Eric in most tournaments these days. But it is that always that amazing chemical reaction of Bristow in the big time, Bristow with a big crowd. Can't get enough of it.
60.
What said to me, winning is the best medicine known to man. Dishing out some to Lobo here. Now adjusted shot, Dave.
60.
Now, I'm afraid it has been a very shadowy performance from John Lowe, 65 the average, and he really hasn't threatened Bristow at any stage of the match.
And they are unlucky shots, those. Those 2 misses into the 1 and the 5 are very unlucky. Got the weight of the shot perfect from the start, but sometimes just loses the line, Eric.
The capacity crowd
66.
absolutely packed in. We have media friends. We have 10 Fleet Street sports editors, we are told, here this evening. From both the broadsheets and the tabloids in the market. Really has captured the imagination of the British public
100.
this evening.
And guess who's grabbing the headlines early doors? Eric de Vries from Stoke Newington via Staffordshire. The Crafty Cockney
100.
looking set to take this one. Battle of the old rivals, 5 times world champion. Unique style, uncomparable patter. World's greatest wind-up ever.
100.
Well, that's true, Sid. Eric's back. That says it all, and he really is back. And one thing in his career he's never been short of, and that's a word or two. And
81.
he's stuck his neck out from time to time, but he's always backed his word. And I'm sure he'll have something to say about this performance.
see, again, very unlucky, just the width of the way out. And a little bit too much finger on the last dart.
John, you require 153.
Big finish for Lowe. Needs to go all around the board. Treble 19 should be the first target. No, went for treble 20. Now he's got to come for 19, surely.
137.
To sew things up then, with a two-darter. Bristow can do it. Yeah.
20 for tops.
For the match, tops.
38. John, you requires 16.
To stay alive, John Lowe, double 8. Oh.
No time to go round the house. Oh, what a mess. What a fat one. Hit the skinny bit. Incredible.
14 scored. Eric, you require 40.
And Bristow looks ultimately confident of this double top.
Middle of the bids! Bristow rides again with apologies to Destry. I thought he couldn't produce it anymore, but his chemistry and a crowd and his big old rival, magic! Bristow takes Lobo! Easy! Cool!
Ladies and gentlemen, John Lowe and Eric Bristow.
For the Crafty Cockney against a man who is still in the world's top 32, John Lowe. Eric, that was just like old times, wasn't it?
Look at this. Now, is that right? Oh, look at that.
Hands still shaking.
That is adrenaline. That's not like nerves. That's just an adrenaline rush. And I've been practicing for this for the last like 3 or 4 weeks. You know what I mean? And I wanted to win tonight. There was no doubt about it. I've got my children watching at home. Sky owe me some money for that because I had to pay for that. But no, yeah, I wanted to win that. And John, I've played John Lowe all over the world, playing these head-to-heads. And John didn't play as well tonight as he has been, so he kind of let me off a bit. But I finished well. I did finish well.
88 average, 45% checkout. It's not bad. And you were telling me you can play a hell of a lot better than that.
I'm playing better now. I'm doing loads of work for Punch Taverns. I'm doing like 100, 150 shows a year for Punch Taverns. So I'm playing every night of the week. And I'm playing lovely darts. And that's why I've started enter the qualifying. I've even entered the qualifying tournament for the World Championship, which I'm playing on December the 4th.
Is it possible that we could see you again in the World Championship? Even this year, you feel that good about your game?
I am playing well. I'm playing a lot, and that's going to do me the world of good. To know that I can go on TV after like 3 years. But it was nerve-wracking for me tonight. There's no lies about that at all. I was nervous tonight, more nervous than the first time that I ever played on TV, and I enjoyed it. I'd like to have got that 180 first shot. But a lovely start when I went 60-60 and I turned around to the audience. Because I do that in exhibitions. I go 60-60, I give it all that, and I go bop, and the other one goes in. But obviously it's different on TV. You know?
Now, people were saying to me, look, is he still suffering from this problem? We call it dartitis. It was this problem he had when he couldn't let go of the dart, like the yips in golf.
It was like, ooh.
We've got a new camera. It's called Ultra Motion. It slows everything down, you know, incredible. So have a look at this. This is your action now.
Now it's moving, see? Now that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
That's the perfect release almost.
There's nothing wrong with that. And if you saw that further through, my dart goes perfectly straight through the air and straight into the board. And if you look at all the other dart players, or supposedly dart players, they waver in the air and things like that. And I've always had a lovely throw. And it's just, all I get now is I haven't got the yips anymore. All I get sometimes is I jump. Sometimes I jump. But I've had that now for like 10, 12 years, so I've learned to compensate with that. And I'm enjoying darts again. I love the game of darts. This is the first match of 3 great matches tonight. I'm going to go upstairs now, and I'm going to get rid of these shakes by having a few beers upstairs and watch everybody else suffer. I'm looking forward to the second game, Wayne Mardell. There's a lot of pressure on Wayne Mardell. He's playing Roland Shelton. Wayne Mardell's lost his last 2 games on TV. Roland Shelton wants to do him. I've been practicing on the same ball as Wayne Mardell, so hopefully I've just taught him how to play the game properly, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about the main event, though. Taylor against Fordham.
Let's get rid of the next one first, yeah. The last one, yeah.
Well, what does Taylor have to do? What does Fordham have to do tonight?
Taylor doesn't have to do nothing. Taylor has to come here, play his normal game. He's going to be very hard to beat. Fordham has got to come here, get on that stage, get the crowd behind him, and in the first 3 sets, he's got to be 2-1 down at the worst. Because if he goes 3-0 down, Taylor will put up the red flag and wipe him out. But Andy Fordham doesn't play a bad game. He's been around a long time, but we just want to see him get into it. We all want to see a good game. We don't want to see someone slaughter the other one. I think he's got his work cut out, Mr. Fordham. I do. I really do. I hope he wins one out of the first 3 sets.
Eric, put it there. Really proud of you tonight. That was a superb
And have
performance.
a nice Christmas, as I am now, and I'll see you here on the 26th.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Boxing Day, when the World Championship gets
And I will be
underway.
in the draw. Because I'll get
Is
through.
that a promise?
No, I'm going to try and get through. I don't tell lies. I don't tell
All
lies.
right. Well, really good. The Crafty Cockney back with a bang, 6-1 over John Lowe. That's the first of plenty of action.